Jake here for American Trucks, and today I'm taking a look at the Hellwig adjustable tubular rear sway bar fitting 2009 and newer Ram 1500s. If you feel that your Ram is lacking a bit in the handling and stability department, then adding a rear sway bar is going to be a great upgrade for you. This adjustable bar from Hellwig is an excellent choice for a daily driven truck, as it strikes a really good balance between improved handling and stability and maintaining your stock ride quality, plus it works with your stock suspension at its original height. Sometimes referred to as an anti-roll bar, your sway bar plays an important role in defining your truck's handling and stability. Now, upgrading that rear sway bar can make a dramatic improvement in handling and overall stability too. So whether you're looking for a bit more grip through the corners or for additional control when hauling or towing, Hellwig has got you covered with this adjustable tubular rear sway bar. Now, this is a three-way adjustable bar, as you can see here, and it's designed to work with your truck's stock suspension. This is a larger diameter than your Ram's factory sway bar, meaning that it's going to provide additional torsional rigidity, so that movement from side to side. So when the truck leans into a corner, this is going to be stiffer. It's going to help keep the rear wheels planted more firmly on the pavement. Now, that also helps with initial turn-in, making the truck respond more quickly to steering wheel inputs, and it's going to feel a little bit more intuitive to drive too. Now, that's not to say that it's going to quite feel like a race car, but trust me when I say that this is a noticeable improvement. Rear sway bar is always going to do that kind of thing for you. And because this one is adjustable, you can dial in exactly how stiff you want this to be. So you've got these three settings here, and each of them, starting from here, gets progressively stiffer. So this one out front is going to be the lowest setting, in the middle, and then you have your stiffest setting here. So this is also great for hauling and towing, because it is, again, going to keep things much more stable. And it's such an easy adjustment. You can do this pretty much anywhere. So if you know you're going to be hauling a lot of weight, or if you're going to be running into some windy mountain roads, you can just move this right on up and enjoy that added stability and improved handling. Or you can adjust it to fine-tune it for however you like it to be on the street. Sometimes you'll hear folks say that upgrading to a thicker sway bar like this one can be detrimental to your ride quality. Hellwig designed this one to strike a really good balance between that added stiffness and maintaining your factory ride quality. So this isn't going to beat you up or ruin that nice ride that the Ram is known for. Again, it is thicker and thus stiffer than your factory sway bar, but it isn't quite as thick as some of the other options out there. So you may notice the truck feeling a bit stiffer, but it's not anything that's going to make it less pleasant to daily drive. And that's kind of the balance that they're talking about here. With going with a larger diameter sway bar, you're gonna have a bit of a stiffer ride. The back end of the truck, when it's unladen, you're gonna feel the movement a lot more, even though it might be more stable in corners and under load. This one is gonna fall sort of in between those two, between stock and that really aggressive one. So this is gonna give you that nice ride quality and that added stability all in one package. The bar here is constructed from high-quality heat-treated chromoly steel, making it stronger than other types of steel, so it's better suited to this type of application because it's going to get twisted around a lot. Chromoly is also quite resistant to rust and corrosion, so it should stand the test of time as well, and you've got this nice gray wrinkle coating on here too. And new bushings and brackets are included in the box as well, so you'll be able to replace those stock ones for some slightly stiffer bushings. Pricing will come in around $425, making this a relatively affordable upgrade, especially for something that's going to make such a difference in how your truck drives and handles. The inclusion of the new bushings and brackets is also a welcome sight, and though this is not the least expensive option out there, it is a good quality product. Having the adjustability, I think, is worth it too, because it's going to allow you to dial in the truck exactly the way that you want it, which is not something you're going to get with some other options out there on the market. Installation will get a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and you should figure on it taking you about 2 hours to complete. Now, the installation is pretty straightforward, as this is just a bolt-in swap for your stock rear sway bar. But you are going to need to get up underneath of the truck and get that old one out and this one in. You are going to be reusing your stock end links with this, as this new bar is designed specifically to work with those. So there's no other modification needed to your truck, just swap this one right on. And again, you've got the bushings, brackets, and new hardware included in the kit too. And to show you how to get this all done, let's head on over to the install bay.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, 8 and 15 millimeter sockets, an 8 millimeter Allen socket, a ratchet, and an 18 millimeter ratcheting wrench. What's up, guys? Today we're installing a rear sway bar on our Ram, so let's get started. So our first step to removing our factory rear sway bar is to disconnect our sway bar from our end links. We have an 18mm nut. I've got an 18mm ratcheting wrench to take off. We also have a stud that's an 8mm, so I've got an 8mm socket on ratchet to hold that in place to get our nut free. And then we can do that same thing on the other side. Next, we can remove our two 15mm bolts holding our sway bar mount into place. I've got a pole jack on our sway bar just to hold this side up so that we can do the other side as well without the whole thing falling on us. So now we can install our bushings as well as our brackets onto our sway bar. Now we have a little cut on one side of our bushing. We'll just slide that right over. And then our bracket will just lay right on top. And then we can slide these back and forth once we go to install them on the truck. And now we'll do that same thing on the other side. And now we can get our sway bar installed onto the truck. Now we can install our new sway bar. We have 3 holes that we can attach our end link to. This outermost one is going to be your standard setting, and then as you get more inside, it's going to be firmer. So we're just going to install this to our loose setting. And then we'll slide our mounts into position. Now we can grab our Allen bolts and flat washers to install through our mounts. And now we'll thread in our bolts on the other side before we tighten everything down. And now we'll take our 8mm Allen socket to tighten down our bolts. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Hellwig adjustable tubular rear sway bar for stock height for your 2009 and newer Ram 1500. Thank you for watching, and for all things Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.